I'm gonna be really honest with you. When we started unboxing the new Konigs, the one thing I didn't expect for Konig to do was to go back in time, okay? Let me explain this. In the 80s and 90s when they were making wheels, they were just making cast wheels for the sport tuner crowd. If you saw an old photo from the car shows of the early 2000s with the Kias and the Pontiacs, you probably saw a Konig wheel on them. As you got into the 2010s and 2020s, they started to introduce their Flowform lineup, which was rad, it was sick, it was affordable, lightweight, flow-formed wheels with some really good sizing that you could pretty much throw on any single car. And then they went and they introduced the forged line, the F3S and the F1M, which we just unboxed as well. If you want to go check that out, the videos are somewhere on this channel. But then they sent us this. This wheel is a wheel I wasn't really expecting from Konig at all, and it's been catching a lot of attention on the internet, and I wanted to unbox it. So I asked Konig to see if they would send it to me, and surprisingly, they said yes, which by the way, I'm Alex Martini. Welcome to the channel. And of course, if you're looking for car parts, you can mod your car at martiniworks.com. We do things like wheels, tires, wheel and tire packages, and of course, performance parts and more. If you need something, we have it. And if you need help finding what works for your car, just shoot us a message on the website. We got AMSOIL in here. Hell yeah. All right, let's go into this. First things first, this is a flow-formed wheel. This is not fully forged at all. You're taking a look at a wheel that's gonna come anywhere between $270 and $360 per wheel. I'm not trying to make a mess because Dakota will end me. And so far I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I am doing okay, all right? Have you seen the mess you make around here? You leave me alone. All right, bolt patterns and sizes, what can you get? Anywhere from a 17 to a 19-inch wheel. This is meant to be a little bit more of an affordable option for you. Now, still flow formed, which is great. You're looking at 17 by 8, 18 by 8.5, 18 by 9, 18 by 9.5, 19 by 8.5, 19 by 9, and 19 by 9.5. Bolt patterns, 4 by 100. That is gonna be for your Miata lovers out there. 5 by 100. That's gonna be even your old Subaru stuff, I believe. 5 by 108, obviously our Ford Focus group out there. 5 by 112, 5 by 114.3, and 5 by 120. If you have a two-door coupe car, this is going to fit your vehicle. Anywhere from 20 to 24 pounds, and of course, for this wheel specifically, not a whole lot of concavity that they said was on it. This is the Konig MRK1, or Mark 1. If you guys are wondering why I said MRK1, that's because I've been scarred by the Volkswagen community for saying it the wrong way every once in a while, and so I just wanna make sure I cover both Konig's side and the enthusiast side on how you would pronounce it. I would probably just call it the Konig MRK1. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. We are looking at one of the multiple parts that we have to understand what this wheel can do for us. There's the cover, which is very nice. I like that they have a cover, and they have a lip protector, very nice. And they have another protector on here, which is very nice. How things ship is really important to me because if they don't come with this sort of stuff, a lot of times you get a lot of cardboard rash, and Konig does a good job protecting it because then you guys and gals don't email us saying that there's something wrong with your wheels. Voila! You've got the Mark 1 in its entirety right here. This is a pretty interesting finish. You're gonna notice a few things are going on here because we gotta talk about this together. This is a very new style. You're still looking at a flow-formed wheel. You're still getting this really like kind of wide lip here, no concavity, pretty much none. It's almost completely flat. Now that's gonna come down to the sizing and the width, but it's also gonna come down to the design of the thing that goes over top of this. You're gonna see these bullet holes in here, that's to shave weight, and then you're gonna see this very weird twisty bit here on the front, which we're gonna get into right away. Now, this wheel specifically, you're gonna notice looks awfully similar to an BBS LM. This is just a one-piece version of it, and it looks awfully similar to the F1M forged that we just unboxed, which I'm pretty sure is a very similar design wheel. Now, I'm not very big of a Euro guy, but I can see these having a place on certain platforms, particularly Volkswagen GTIs, Jettas. This could look potentially pretty sick even on a Mark 7, to be honest. I think we actually just did a video on that. But that's why I have this big brown box, because there's more that we have to unpack with this to understand what is it supposed to look like. We have seen these in the past. Gels has confirmed with me that people love these. People like them. Some people like them. I am not so convinced, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to provide my opinion, and then you all can give me your opinion in the comments below. The good news is if you love it, I got great news. It's on the website at martiniworks.com, so you can get it right from us. And if you don't like it, we can keep shopping around until we find something you do like. We are gonna be taking a look at this thing, which is called an AROCOVER. Now, an AROCOVER, these style things come to us all the way back in the past. Brief history, less than 45 seconds. Back in the day, when people were rally racing and doing a lot of just general racing, a lot of times what they had noticed is that it was really hard to get air in and or out of the wheel wells. In addition to that, it was hard to keep the brakes cool, and it was hard to keep the dust out. And so what fancy engineers did when they had more money than sense and probably more cocaine running through their system doing Group B rally racing than anything else in the world, is they developed a system and a way to put these little things over their wheels, and what that did is it allowed air to get scooped in, air to get pushed out, and to protect from debris going into the wheel. That is 45-second history. What you want to know is how does it look on this wheel particularly. There's a couple different pieces that you're going to get with it. You get this large Konig center cap, which is a combination of metal and plastic. Looks like it's got some inserts in the side. This is literally a center cap, but then they've got this over it. And then we also have what looks to be a disc, which goes over the lug holes. So this is how you can assemble it two ways, with the AROCOVER or without the AROCOVER. If you don't want the AROCOVER, what you would do is you would essentially put this on once you have the wheel mounted, and then you simply screw this on. I wish I could make this a smoother experience for both of us. And what you get is this look. Nah, it doesn't really look terrible, in my opinion, to be honest. I think it looks okay. Now, I've never really been a fan of the covered lug style, personally. I think a lot of times what scarred me from it is a lot of wheel manufacturers did dual drilling on wheels and then hit it with this cover here and then put this like big center lock-esque style design to hide the fact that they were cheaping out on you to give you a wheel that could be two different lugs. It reduced their inventory size, it helped them, and it didn't really help the customer at all. If it can be designed well, sure, it can be used. I'm not super convinced that this is how I would typically run it. I want to see what it looks like with the AROCOVER. I still think it looks good. I just think with the spokes being so small, it's really hard to get more than just like, it looks like a wheel, you know? The design is kind of hidden. It's a very small spoke, but overall, I think it looks good. I think the point of this wheel is really gonna be shown with this piece here. So I'm gonna take this off.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
That was great for both of us. Now, Konig does give you one of these. You can kind of pull that off. If that is the intended purpose, congratulations, I taught you something. If Konig watches this video and says that's not what that's used for, congratulations, you have a dual purpose tool that you didn't think you did. All right, so now we can put this back on, kind of organize it however you'd like. I feel like I'm gonna get yelled at no matter which way I do it. So I'm gonna try my best. All right, and we're back. All right, so we're gonna put this back on. This is what it looks like. So it can't get any tighter than this, so you're gonna have to keep in mind if you want that Konig to be facing a certain way with the face of this aero disc or AROCOVER, you're gonna have to just adjust how you screw it on. Let me take a look at it from my own perspective first. It is different. However, here's what I'll say. With the small spokes and the way that this wheel is designed, I feel like it looks better with the AROCOVER on rather than the AROCOVER off. That's just a personal opinion. Obviously, you can choose. Now, the reason that this is such a polarizing design for a lot of people is typically when you see an aero disc, it's going to come almost all the way to the end of the spoke. And a lot of times it is lifted off the face using the design of the aero disc. So then you have this like gap that kind of comes around the spoke to the aero cover. The aero cover is a little bit different. It's smaller. It is recessed right next to the spoke of the wheel. And so you get this look that is a little bit different. And you're not gonna be able to really understand if you hate it or if you love it unless you're really looking for a design like this. And what I can say is that with the sizes that this wheel does come in and the bolt patterns and things like that, I do think it's gonna find the right home on certain platforms. And I think that platform is gonna predominantly be the Eurocar community for the most part. Overall, design's pretty cool. I think my favorite thing about this wheel, to be honest, is gonna be the price. In terms of 3 reasons why I'd buy it and 2 reasons why I wouldn't, I think the first reason is it's different, it's exciting, it's cool. It's got an aero cover on it and it's built with the Mark 1, which I think is a pretty interesting thing. Reason number 2, it's made by Konig. It's still flow form, so it's still gonna be a little bit lighter. If I throw this on the scale right here, we are looking at, with the plastic on it, 24.7 pounds. So still heavy, but in terms of an affordable wheel that's $1,200, that's gonna seat that Eurocar with a heavy spoke design, you can't really get much lighter than that. And the third reason I like it is because it's Konig and they're trying something different and they're testing something out. Not every single time you do something are you gonna nail it right on the head, but I do think that they've really tried to do something different with this market and they really wanna go after the Eurocar, which I do think looks pretty decent. Now, is it my first pick? No, I typically like Japanese ship boxes. That's like my go-to kind of car build. So I can't necessarily say that this one is for me, but that doesn't mean that it's not for you. 2 reasons why I wouldn't buy it at the size that it is, and even though it's flow form, because there's so many spokes, it is a heavier wheel. I'm not gonna lie to you, 24.7 pounds on a wheel like this is a doozy. And I think the second reason why I wouldn't, hold on.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
Second reason I wouldn't really buy it is just because the design is not personally my styling. Because of the way that that cover has to sit on here, you're losing a lot of spoke design that could come closer into this lip down here. And because we're taking up a lot of that space to put this like center hub section on, I do think it is a little bit of a different design. If you've got a small sport hatch style car or a small 2-door coupe or an older European car, something where the wheels don't need to be bigger, I think this wheel is gonna be perfect for you. If you're trying to buy something that's a 19-inch wheel or something that's bigger and wider, I'm not entirely sure this is gonna be the wheel design for you. But you guys and gals can let me know what questions you have below. And of course, Konig, thank you so much for sending this over to us. We absolutely love unboxing this stuff, and we hope you guys and gals enjoy us having a really transparent and honest conversation about these wheels, because honestly, we just wanna help you find what works best for your car. So if you're looking for this wheel or any Konig wheels, you can check it out over at martiniworks.com. I'm Alex Martini, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one.